It's Smoking and Toasting. We are bringing you show number 156, doing a little bit of a cigar legal update and talking cigars for warriors with our guest and good friend Trey Boring from Cigar Rights of America and Cigars for Warriors. We are brought to you by the fine folks at B&B Butchers and Restaurant at 1814 Washington Ave in Houston and in the shops at Clear Fork in Fort Worth. Before we get to the Aran, or you can go ahead and pour if you want, I guess, Ian. Ooh, see how wonderful that sound is?
That is wonderful.
It's a sound that speaks of things to come. That's what I like about it. Very excited. You know, it'd be easy to accuse me, and you'd be right, of being a bit of a fanboy for AJ Fernandez
I've
cigars.
noticed this
I've been fairly vocal, but I will tell you that there's another cigar line that I'm a pretty big fanboy of too, and it's the Casada Oktoberfest cigars. So I was thrilled to see that the Oktoberfest, which was first released in 2009 but had not been around since 2017, the line that pays tribute to Oktoberfest beers that start about this time of the year, it's coming back. In fact, it's shipping now. So this thing will be showing up in cigar stores.
So the 2016 was the blue label, right? And then the
2017 was the white label.
17 was the white label.
And those blue label, those
I snapped them up every time I saw them.
Man, they're just so good.
They had a real particular size of it too. It was a real fat kind of Was it
the Kaiser Ludwig or was it the Uber?
The Uber.
Yeah,
love that
the
one.
Uber. So they come in the Bavarian, the Uber, the Das Boot, which I really like, which is the box pressed one. Right. The Kaiser Ludwig and the Kugel, which sounds like I don't know. That sounds like. Oh, I'm thinking Kegel. Okay, that's what I was thinking of. I was going to say it sounds like something that I don't know if it's really where we want to go with our cigar, unless we're Bill Clinton. But it's a Kugel. Okay, a Kugel. Yeah. Well, so a Kugel is like a Jewish noodle dish.
I didn't know that,
but I think it's spelled differently than that. So this is a German. Something of German descent. I don't know where it comes from. But anyway, these are all German names because Oktoberfest is a German.
Right. So if you're a really big fan of the blue labels, I should not tell you that about a year and a half ago, I went into a cigar shop in a small town in the Midwest, and I found 2 boxes of the box press. Ooh. And the guy goes, "Yeah, I can't sell these." And I said,
"You can today."
I said, "Okay, well, do you have a deal on them?" He said, 40 off. I went, 40% off. You got it. I'll take them.
Noted, yeah. I would.
And now I would love to tell you I still had some, and I would give you one, on Saturday if you come down and see me. But I don't have them.
Those are good cigars.
We were talking just real quickly. We were talking during the break, and you Trey. Obviously, we've supported everything you're a part of. Cigar Rights of America and Operation Cigars for Warriors, and we appreciate how you've supported the show and supported the Whiskey Sniff. And I know you're already coming to the Whiskey Sniff, but we just wanted to make it official. Trey will be there, and he'll have a bag with him. And if at the Whiskey Sniff you're attending, which is coming up in November, if you're attending and you would like to put cigars in Trey's bag, I can guarantee you they will make it to the front somewhere. They'll be sent out as Cigars from Cigars for Warriors. So if you want to buy some, bring some with you. You want to put some cigars, some of the leftover cigars from your goodie bag that you'll get. You want to put them in there. It's paying it forward, and
absolutely.
And you guys are platinum rated, so I can tell you the cigars will go where they're supposed to go.
They will.
Yeah, which is an awesome thing. So, Ian, you've been sitting over there grinning since the segment began.
And I haven't even tried it yet.
The Aran, 18-year-old single malt. So there's only one distillery on this particular Scottish island, and it is the Aran Distillery. And they are you'll notice if you walk into Specs or your favorite liquor store, there's a number of different expressions from these guys. Mm-hmm. But this is the 18-year, and
I haven't had this one before.
It came highly recommended, so I'm kind of excited, and I'm loving the nose on this.
Oh, I just want to stick my nose in here and breathe for a little bit.
It is just a wonderful thing.
This is so ridiculously smooth. And keep in mind, for those of you who aren't watching this, we're actually drinking it neat, no water, no anything, just
neat in a plastic cup.
Neat in a plastic cup here. It is so incredibly smooth.
So it's.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Please finish.
The caramel notes on this.
Yeah.
Like first off, that's the first thing you smell when I open the bottle. It was like whoosh, like caramel, big time on it. The oak notes on this. It has that sherry kind of finish to it,
and it has that wonderful minerality that
Yes.
is a part. It's not exclusive to Scotch, but it sure is a prominent thing.
That
with
aftertaste
some of the
you
best
get when
Scotches
you
that I
try a really good mineral water. That aftertaste you get, it has definitely that.
But it's mingling with that again. You cannot get away from the caramel.
And this is slightly
on this.
overproof too. This is 46%.
Yes.
So that's a little bit bigger. It says the Aaron is the Aran. What did we say it was?
Aaron.
Aran. The Aran or Aaron.
Aran.
The Aran. 18-year-old is a wonderfully balanced expression of the. Say it again.
Aran.
Aran. Gotcha. I keep
Aran.
putting the emphasis on
Rhymes-
the wrong syllable.
R rhymes with car. Aran.
Aran malt, which displays the tremendous depth of character of our distillery. Caramelized citrus and tropical notes on a background of toasted oak. Yeah, you get that oak comes through huge. Create an intense, well-rounded dram with charm and personality. We're the only distillery in the Isle of Aran and a proudly independent Scottish company. Nice.
Yeah, it is really nice. Trey, what are your thoughts on the
fruity
on
notes
the,
on it are so good.
Well, to me, it's what powers through for me is that wonderful caramel essence that you get, and then that oak finish, which for me, I tend to be, much more of a Highland Scotch person in my preference. So some of the island Scotches, can be a little too much.
Yeah.
This has enough. I think everybody calls it peatiness. I always think it's that oak and that that back burn, but it's got a little bit of that oak in it that sets it apart from a Highland style. But that caramel is what I mean. It literally at first when I'm smelling it, it smells like your mom's making homemade caramel on the stove.
Yeah, I think it's
huge.
It's a more prominent caramel than I've had, other than maybe in a bourbon.
Yeah,
The fruity notes really come in on the retro hail. Like just a nice light breath out of the nose after a sip, and they just come through really, really, really interesting. The citrus that they talk about in there is an interesting.
Yeah, I didn't get that as a note, but that could just be my palate.
I'm getting more like dried red fruit type fruit notes, but
They got but the finish on this is just there's so much what I get on the retro hills is like pear or apricot kind of like those kind of things.
What's wonderful about a whiskey this complex is that you can sit here and talk about, I got a little bit of this, and you go, there's so much in there.
Yeah,
it's like
this
unpacking it is a lot of fun.
We're also not talking about the incredible obvious malt.
Oh yeah,
that this tastes like. This, I mean, this is a mouthful of malt right
well,
here.
generally, the more caramel-ish something is, the more you kind of attribute that to the malty nature of it. But yes, it's kind of a malt bomb.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's definitely a malt bomb. But interestingly enough, it's not a chocolatey malt bomb, because a lot of times when you get malt bombs, they tend towards the chocolatey side. And chocolate and malt are different. If you've ever had a real actual malt like shake,
right,
it's not chocolate.
This
it's
is malt and caramel, not malt and chocolate.
Right.
Yeah.
And malt is just such an interesting flavor, but yeah, you'd almost have to bite into one of those little balls of malt that was in your shake that didn't
get completely dissolved.
To get this kind
that was my favorite back in the old school days.
Right.
Get real malted shakes. Yeah.
Right.
You know,
it's interesting. This is so good and so incredibly smooth. Like the heat doesn't even, like, you get this whiskey hug that comes way after the fact.
Yes, way after the fact,
and just like this.
But you're right. Initially, it's so smooth. You're almost like, really? Is it this smooth? And then you do get a little of that whiskey hug that comes back.
Can you
towards
imagine
the end,
this
offering a
with
little
one
heat.
of those Oktoberfest cigars?
Oh, dude.
And sitting out on the porch with a little patio heater right behind you in the winter. Like that.
I'm loving this whole idea.
I tell you what I'm getting out of it is, and I'm a very much not a professional pairer of drinks, but I know what I like to drink with my cigars, right? And I am, the Undercrown Shade
Yeah.
which is I'm not
Great cigar.
and I'm not a milder medium. I like stronger cigars, but I'd like to drink that or smoke that when I'm drinking coffee because I usually drink
Yeah.
very nice coffee and usually strong and nothing in it. This right here, the whole time I'm drinking this, I am literally getting the shade I smoked this morning back on my tongue.
Oh, wow.
I think that would just, for my palate, that would
absolutely.
be a perfect cigar. with this.
Absolutely.
Nice.
I'm going to say that because of the prominence of the caramel and maltiness, I think this would actually go with a lot of different cigars.
Oh,
Well, I would
You
pair
know?
this, like, it's funny that you have that, okay, I'm tasting this, and I immediately think of this cigar. Like, I would pair this with a Christoph Maduro right off the
Nice.
right off the
Yeah,
top of my
nice.
head. I mean, that would be, because they're so chocolatey, and they have a lot of those things going on.
Only if we could drink the bottle, smoke the cigar with Glen Case from Christoph right there with us.
That would be pretty
That would
awesome.
be pretty awesome.
That'd be good stuff.
He has good stories.
I love it. I love it.
Nice.
So does Matt Booth, by the way.
Oh,
Yes, yes.
Just
That
ask
guy's
Ian.
hilarious.
Yeah, just ask Ian. All right, this is wonderful. We're going to continue to nurse this for a moment, but we're going to take a break because when we come back, our final tasting of the day, Cycle Brewing's Bourbon Barrel Aged Baltic Porter. So I'm really psyched about this. That
sounds exciting.
and it sounds like a perfect place to go.
That makes
after
me want to
this.
dance a little bit in my
Yeah,
chair.
and I think you should. So, so as the music comes up, maybe Ian, you can just.
It's not because we've had beers.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh man,
Where's,
too bad.
where's the Nick Jonas
It's
music?
too bad it's not Nick Jonas. I was just about to say.
That's a totally different dance in this one.
I'm with Nick, and we'll be right back.
I'm with Nick. That's a shirt.